Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Week 10 NFL prediction. Double digits already. Also, how about that trade deadline? Got a little bit crazy. Don't worry, I'll definitely have some full reactions to that coming out. Anyway, last week I did not do nearly as good as I was hoping to do. I only went 9-5, but like I mentioned, there was some bittersweet to it when the Bills and the Vikings both won. And now my season total sits at a record of 85, 49, and 1. And unlucky for me, it looks like this week is actually pretty tough. Anyway, before we hop into it, as you guys already know, go check out G Fuel, go check out Waggle, and don't forget to use code WyattzWorld at sign up on Prize Picks, where you can guarantee yourself to win a free $50 with your first $5 entry. But as always, please remember to play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Okay, so kicking off this week with Thursday Night Football, we have the Raiders at the Broncos. Now, this is probably one of the easier picks, I hope, for the week, and I'm going to pick Denver to win. Again, they showed it last week. They're just resilient. Their escapability to get out of a game ahead. Arguably the best in the league right now. But if the Raiders offense shows up like it did last week, so in other words, Brock Bowers, starts shredding Denver, they're going to have their hands full. You saw it last week, man. That guy is still one of a kind. Raiders defense is kind of surprising too, because statistically, like, they're not actually that terrible. It's just their offense up until last week has held that team down time and time and time again. Also, with Jacoby Myers being traded, you got to look to guys like Dante Thornton Jr., Trey Tucker, Tyler Lockett to be stepping up and making some plays. Very curious to see how the Raiders look. Regardless, back to Denver. They're playing like one of the best teams in the league. They have one of the best defenses in the league. I'll take them to win pretty convincingly in this one, 24-17. Now moving on to Sunday morning, live from Berlin, we have the Falcons at the Colts. And I think this is actually a very, very interesting game considering the predicament these teams are in right now. You got the Falcons coming off of a nauseating loss, and you have the Colts coming off of a nauseating performance in a nauseating loss. However, the Colts bit the hell out of my tongue right there. But anyway, the Colts traded for Sauce Gardner. We're expecting a boost in their defense now. And also, is Sauce Gardner going to have to go to London twice? Or not London, but like international games twice? Didn't the Jets go there? Maybe I'm tripping, and if I'm not, that sucks. But anyway, I'm drawn to this game. I think it's going to be very entertaining. I think both teams are going to be playing very hard. And I'm going to pick the Colts to bounce back, get right here. And they're going to throw up 28 points, holding the Falcons to 20. Falcons might be a corrupt team, but acting like their offense ain't dangerous. Now that's just foolish. Now on to Sunday afternoon, we have the Giants at the Bears. I'll take Chicago to win this one 27-21. I think the Bears defense is a lot better than last week's show. That was just absolutely awful. But they got out ahead, and that's what matters most. The Giants, sadly, kind of predictably, I suppose, didn't make a move at the deadline for a receiver, and I was really hoping they were going to. I thought they were going to go after Shaheed. Like, I get it, they're already kind of torched. You got to get Jackson a little extra help there, a little boost. I look for Ben Johnson to continue to be creative when it comes to scoring points, when it comes to getting down the field, and I also look for Colston Loveland to continue to be the it factor and continue to get targets. Now we've got Buffalo at Miami. Trap game, where art thou, trap game? The mission here is simple. Treat this game like you treated the last game. Play the Dolphins like you're playing the Chiefs. Buffalo finally has some good, real, authentic momentum here. I think this momentum is much more than what they had after starting 4-0 even. Put the pedal to the metal, stay on the Patriots' ass, and hope that at some point they hit a nail in the road. Taking the Bills to win 27-17. Now we've got Baltimore at the Vikings. This one is very interesting. This is probably going to be one of the games of the week. Yeah, Baltimore coming off of a game where Lamar Jackson just returned and re-elevated that team into a playoff contender. You have the Vikings, who just had J.J. McCarthy return from injury and stun the entire NFL by taking out one of the league's best. This is in Minnesota. The crowd's going to be loud, and I'm expecting a game of tricks and treats. Maybe it's a week late, but this is going to be a scary close game. I'm prepared to eat my words, but I do believe Flores will have a plan to shut down the offense of Baltimore, and the Vikings are going to get out alive 24-23. Now we've got the Browns at the Jets. The Jets without Sauce and Quinnen Williams now. Oh, this is going to be good. I'll take Cleveland to win this. I guess we'll go 14-10. I don't feel like it's going to be an explosive game for the Jets at all. I don't know if Garrett Wilson's going to play or not. I just can't imagine that the Jets defense, which was already pathetic enough, is going to be able to hold the team down, missing not only their best secondary tool, but their best defensive lineman. He is going to light it up on Dallas. And if I saw right, didn't the Micah trade technically end up going for Quinnen Williams? That trade's not looking all that terrible. It's still probably not good, but I don't know if I'm on my own island here, but Quinnen Williams is literally one of the best defensive tackles in football. Now we have the Patriots at the Bucks. Sim salabim, sim salabim, sim salabim. In the Bucks we trust. Please give us a breath. Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers from past and from present, I beg you, defeat the Patriots with power, with will. Buffalo needs you. Tampa Bay wins 28-26. This is actually kind of badass in here now. That'll bring us to the Saints at the Panthers. Carolina, do not slip and fall here. Do not do it. Speaking of good momentum, you guys have to have probably some of the best in the league. You got the Saints who just got rid of one of their best receivers, one of their best offensive weapons. You got the Saints who are still experimenting with a very green quarterback. Run the ball down their throats. Tico Dowdle shouldn't have any problem dusting this group of defensive guys that are old enough to be his dad and throw up a 30 bomb on their asses. Win this game 30-17. Do me a favor and give me a reason to talk you guys up even more. Now we've got the Jags at the Texans in a very crucial divisional game, and I'm also going to implement something called the WyattzWorld rewind pick or rebuttal pick. As of now, CJ Stroud is in concussion protocol, and if he doesn't play, I think the Jags will win this game. I don't think they'll win it convincingly. I think it'll be like 20-17, just due to the fact that I think their offense is going to have a lot more opportunities. Even though they are hurt too, they just traded for Jacoby Myers, so I mean, they should be okay. But if it turns out that CJ is playing, then my pick is going to turn into the Texans, because CJ keeps that offense out there. CJ is productive with that offense. D'Amico's defense that's already playing good is going to remain well rested. I think they play the clock. I don't think that the Jags are going to be able to get out of this. Trevor Lawrence already struggles enough to read a defense. I think D'Amico's going to be throwing schemes at him left and right, and if they're getting down to the end zone, Trevor ain't going to be able to run in like he did twice last week. He's going to be thrown in a fucking jail cell. So I know this is confusing. I pick the Jags if CJ's not playing. If CJ does play, I pick the Texans. That score, on the other hand, would be Texans winning 21-14.
Hey WyattzWorld junkies, it's the Fossil coming to you again from the cave. Last week I said that New England would shut down Atlanta's run game and win the game, and they did. It was a little closer than I thought, but New England winning brings me to 8-1 in my cameo picks. Not bad for an old fart, right? So this week, again, looking for a game that features teams that weren't in previous picks I've made. I have Jacksonville visiting Houston. This game is a tough one for me to pick anyway, because I think that they both have an equal opportunity in this game. Houston with the number one statistical defense in the league. Jacksonville's 22nd. They both have good run defenses, though. On offense, I think they're fairly similar. With Stroud out, though, maybe you have a little advantage to Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's wide receivers are banged up. I think Mills does enough of this game to beat the Jaguars along with that defense, so I'm going to go ahead and take Houston to win this one 19-16. Take that to the bank. All you WyattzWorld junkies, I'll be back to see you next week when I'm hopefully 9-1. Take care.
Now we've got the Cardinals at the Seahawks, who just, I mean, technically kind of bench Kyler Murray. I think it's to also rest him up, but Jacoby Brissett was officially named the starter here, which is fine. He's been way more productive. There's no other way to look at it. Regardless, I'm picking Seattle to win this game. They are continuing to play like probably the best team in football at the moment. They look indestructible. Sam Darnold looks like the Terminator. They just added Rashid Shaheed, which was like the most unnecessary addition to a team I've ever seen. It's equivalent to Harry Potter walking into a store and buying a fucking gun. I don't think the Cardinals have a shot to win this. I'm expecting an absolute eruption, and Seattle scolds them for 33 points while containing them to 10. I think this is going to be an ass kicking. Now we've got the Rams at the 49ers. This is very interesting as well, man. Every game for this division is like a playoff game. And you gotta think the Rams are gonna get this one, right? You gotta think so, because they have an offense that's undeniable. They have one of the best teams in football, if you're asking me. But Kyle Shanahan has always had Sean McVay's number. Sean McVay is 7-11 against him. I think this is going to be a heavyweight bout, a heavyweight classic. 10 rounds, nothing but haymakers and uppercuts, ending with the Rams holding their hand high. I think Matt Stafford's going to throw up another 4 touchdowns. I think this game is going to go to overtime too. It's just one of those weeks. But the Rams will win in a shootout 33-30. That'll bring us to Detroit at the Commanders. Detroit wins 24-10. That'll bring us to Sunday Night Football. We got the Steelers at the Chargers. I don't really care for this as a Sunday night game, but whatever. Take the Chargers to win this in a pretty entertaining 23-21 game. These are two just pretty unpredictable teams. They can look really good. They can look really pathetic. I think what's going to be important for Jim and the Chargers this game, though, is to play conservative. Don't play aggressive. Tomlin's a guy that manipulates a game from the beginning to the end. If he has control, that's where you get in trouble. Don't let him have control. I think Herbert will shine. There is going to be a plethora of yards going to a committee of people that the Steelers secondary is just not going to have a complete answer for. I think the Chargers win, the Steelers lose, and both of those divisions continue to just get more interesting. And now we got Monday Night Football, the Eagles at the Packers. I'll take Philly to win this 26-20. It'll be a good hard game played by both teams. I don't think the Packers are by any means an actual fraud, but I also don't think they're as complete of a team as Philadelphia, and Philadelphia has made a lot of trades to improve themselves. Green Bay, on the other hand, they've had people return to their offense like Christian Watson, but they've also had people underperform like Matthew Golden. Man, I haven't heard his name in weeks. Green Bay's offense for me is just a little bit too spotty. Philly wins and for once helps the Minnesota Vikings out. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, for my Week 10 NFL prediction. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, please show support because you know I appreciate it. In the meantime, I'm going to get this whipped up so you guys can all watch it on time. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Continue to enjoy this crazy warm weather if it's nice where you are. In Minnesota, this is like unbelievable. But anyway, as always, I will see you in the next video.